Hey guys, Nick here, and welcome back to another Flash episode review. My thoughts on last night's episode of The Flash titled Into the Speed Force. And I gotta be honest, guys, these last few episodes have been really just testing my faith in the show. Because, like, this episode and last episode, I feel like the show's not going anywhere. Like, Barry as a character keeps regressing and not progressing as a character. He keeps making stupid mistakes week after week after week after week, and it's getting to the point where it's just like, why am I still watching? And I hate that because, like, The Flash, up until this year, it was my favorite of the four DC shows between Supergirl, Arrow, and Legends. And oddly enough, I'm looking forward more to Legends because at least that's somewhat consistent every week. Whereas The Flash, it's like they'll have some cool action scenes and some cool moments between characters throughout the episodes, but that's not enough. You have to be, to me, you have to, I understand it's a 23 episode season, and you're going to have moments where things drag a bit, but it's like, come on. Like, what they're doing right now isn't great storytelling. Like, in this week's episode, it was cool going into the Speed Force again, with this episode kind of being like a sequel episode to last year's The Runaway Dinosaur, which was one of the best episodes of Season 2, in my opinion. And while it was cool seeing the Speed Force manifest himself as Eddie, and as Ronnie, and as Snart, and it was cool seeing those characters back, even though it wasn't actually them, and kind of showing Barry of, like, what their lives could have been like if they hadn't sacrificed themselves, and trying to be a hero. Whereas Barry, in this episode, all he was trying to do was get Wally out of the Speed Force. And honestly, I think the way they got Wally out of the Speed Force was way too easy. Like, I thought that's something that should have been built up, like, episode after episode after episode of them trying to, but ultimately failing, because it's like, how are there any real stakes in the show if something bad happens one episode and then it's immediately fixed in the next episode? To me, that's not compelling. And it's just, it's like, I feel like the show is taking the easy way out. And I feel like that's because of the change in showrunnership in the last season, because Andrew Kreisberg and Greg Berlanti don't really have too much focus on the Flash this year. And honestly, I don't even know where they are this year in terms of where they are in terms of who's showrunning what. Because anytime I see like an Inside Tonight's episode of the Flash, it's executive producers that I've never seen before, and they're the ones who are kind of guiding the season. And I think that's probably why, because there hasn't been consistent leadership within the show, because they change executive producers all the time. I think that also, it leads to why the show, at least for me, just hasn't been consistent this season. There's been good episodes, and I feel like everything since the Gorilla City thing, these last few weeks, it just hasn't been great, or hasn't been all that good to me. And in this week's episode, like, things just felt like they were too easy, and you're getting rid of characters that fans love. Like, you're pretty much getting rid of Jake Garrick. You're pretty much getting rid of Jesse Quick. And it's just, like, you don't have to do that. And I understand, like, maybe having too many speedsters, it complicates things, because, like, why can't they all just... You know, yeah, if they have all the speedsters around, why can't they all just go after Savitar? 4 speedsters against 1? They would easily win. But week after week, they're struggling, like, oh, how do we beat Savitar? How do we beat Savitar? And it's just like... And none of them being smart about going at it. It's just like... Everyone's emotionally compromised and, like, allowing their emotions to dictate their actions, whether it's Jesse or Wally or Barry. And I'm tired of it. And in this episode, there just wasn't much that I really, really enjoyed. To me, the only parts I really enjoyed were seeing Jake Garrick and seeing Jesse Quick go after Savitar. And I was kind of worried that they were going to kill her off, because I know that Violet Bean wasn't going to be in the musical crossover for next week between Flash and Supergirl. But, thankfully they didn't kill her off. They just sent her to Earth 3 to be their Flash until Jay Garrick comes back. I mean, which that I get. I mean, like, that Earth, especially with Jay gone, it is going to need a Flash. But I hate that they're getting rid of the speedsters that I really like. And it just bothers me that it was so easy for them to get Wally back in that episode. And the Speed Force wasn't, like... I understand the Speed Force was, like, malevolent in this episode, and they weren't, like, as kind as they were to Barry the first time around when he first went in there in the Runaway Dinosaur. but they made it almost no actual effort to really stop him, other than having a time wraith and having Black Flash. But seeing Black Flash was cool because Barry immediately recognized him as as Zoom, or what was Zoom. I think Zoom's actually long gone. Like, all that's there is Black Flash, and it's cool seeing Black Flash because we saw him earlier this season in Legends in the Legion of Doom episode, which is one of the better episodes of any of the DC shows in my opinion. But seeing that was cool. Again, the show has cool elements to it. I just find myself week after week, lately, there hasn't been much keeping me all that interested because I feel like it's the same repetitive drama week after week after week after week. I think one of the dumbest things in this episode that pissed me off the most was, the Speed Force is trying to tell Barry he's the only one who can save Iris, and that it's his destiny to save Iris or whatever. And his bright idea is to break up with Iris. Like, what? I'm gonna say right now, Barry's an idiot. He's like, I don't know how he's revered so much in the future, and they're saying, oh, like, Future Flash wouldn't do this, Future Flash wouldn't do that, your future self is smarter than this. Like, I'm not seeing any ounce of, Barry's a CSI, and he's a superhero, and week after week he's making stupid mistakes, and yeah, breaking up with Iris to try to help save her, yeah, that makes literally no sense. It's stupid. It's bad writing too. It's bad writing because he finally got things going with Barry and Iris getting together and having Wally finally as Kid Flash. Things are finally going somewhere, and now you're creating this repetitive drama every week of between Barry stupidly proposing to Iris for the wrong reason, and that creating tension in the relationship, and it seemed like Iris was willing to at least move forward, and Barry's like, sorry, we need a break, and we can't do this right now, blah, blah, blah. It's stupid. It's stupid writing, and The Flash is slowly becoming one of my least favorite of the DC shows. Like, I'm liking Supergirl more than Flash right now. I think I can honestly say Legends is my favorite of the 4 shows right now. Because Legends at least is consistent, and it knows what it is, and it isn't trying to... I mean, it can be compelling sometimes, it can have great episodes, but it knows what it is. Whereas Flash, it's like, week after week, it's the same repetitive stupidness of Barry making stupid decisions. Like, and Barry, being the Flash, he can't do anything unless he has the team there. And he can't, and how he stupidly... First of all, he's a speedster. He can go, thousands of miles an hour, and he can get knocked down by a freaking gorilla. I don't know, the Flash has been really frustrating for me this season, and it's finally boiling up to the point where, after this season, I don't know if I want to review it. Maybe I'll do, what I'm doing with Legends, because I haven't had the chance to tell you guys yet. I will be reviewing Legends as a whole season once the season finale airs, because I still do watch the show after week, as I've already said, it's still one of my favorite of the DC shows. But I think what I'm going to do with that show is, again, once season's over, do a full season review and recap, because week after week, it was just hard for me to do, especially when they moved it to Tuesday nights, made it even more difficult for me, because I already have a hard time as it is getting my reviews up on time with Flash and Arrow and some of the other ones. But I think I'm just going to do that because I still want to talk about the show with you guys. And and plus it's easier at the end of the season once everyone's caught up, and since Legends is the least watched of the DC shows, that it warrants me to do that. So I might end up doing that with Flash next season, because what they're doing right now, it's frustrating, and it's making me not want to watch the show, to be honest. So I'm sorry if I offended anyone in any way. These are just my thoughts on the episode, and I don't want you guys to think that I'm trying to be a Debbie Downer or anything like that. This was one of my favorite shows, and it's just frustrating me because kind of much with what Arrow was doing, not to that extent, but when you care about a show so much, and when you see it start to go downhill, I can't lie and say that everything what they're doing is okay. I don't think it's okay. What they're doing, I think, is dumb. It is bad writing, and I'm sad because I don't know if I'm going to continue to watch the show week after week and review it week after week. It's just really frustrating. So I don't know where the show is going at this point. I'm kind of excited for the musical crossover thing. I know not a lot of people are. A lot of people think it's stupid. But, when you have talented singers and actors like, Jesse L. Martin, Grant Gustin, Melissa Benoist, Carlos Valdez, and all of them, all who are great singers and performers, I don't mind seeing a musical episode between all the Supergirl and Flash characters. So it'll be fun seeing that. But other than that, there's not much else I'm really looking forward to this season, because what they're doing, I feel like, is making me not want to watch. So then with that being said, that's going to be it for me. So what did you guys think of this latest episode? Send your thoughts in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for all the other content I put up on my channel. Earlier this week, I did a reaction and review of the newest Wonder Woman trailer. I'll also pretty soon or later today I'll be doing my review of the finale of This Is Us with my girlfriend, so you guys can check that out, as well as the other videos on my channel as well. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, have a good one.